Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's video. Today we're going to do some review for homework 1. So let's get started. Okay, so I wanted to start off talking about the big picture. So just keep in mind that we're learning a new language, and in this new language, it's called the language of logic. There's going to be a lot of components within it. There's parentheses, there's connectives, there's atomic sentences, and we have to keep track of all of these things. And the more precise you are, the more points you get. So make sure, if you want to get the most points that you can on the homework, just to be very nitpicky with where all those details are at. And we're going to also be translating stuff, English into this language of logic, and from logic into English. So just keep an eye out for all of these things. This is our big picture. This is what we've been doing for these last 3 weeks. And this is what is going to be on the homework that's due today at 6 p.m. So don't forget. Okay, so let's start off with parentheses. I just wanted to review just some little details about it that can easily help you make sure you get the most points on the homework. So just keep in mind that when you see a negation A, just keep it by itself. That's fine, but if you put parentheses around the negation itself, just the negation A, parentheses around that, that's not correct. So just keep it by itself. Also, if you see a connective other than negation combining those two atomic sentences, put parentheses around them. Don't just leave it, don't put one parenthesis by itself, just put parentheses around it and you should be fine. Also, if you see two connectives within one sentence combining 3 atomic sentences, always put parentheses around the first connective and then later on the parentheses that are around the full thing. So this is going to vary depending on what you are doing, but generally this is how you want it to look. You don't just want to keep it by itself without any parentheses, and you don't just want to put parentheses on the outside. You have to designate 2 atomic sentences within one connective. Okay, so let's take a look at the main operator or the main connective. So I know the homework, it's going to ask you find the main operator, find that, or the main connective. And so pretty much the idea is it's just the last operator used to put together the final building blocks of the sentence. So what is that last thing that you did? Just like a math problem, that last, order of operation, that last thing that you did before you got the answer. So if there's like addition, subtraction, multiplication, if multiplication is the last thing you did with the last 2 numbers, for example, then that would be your main connective. And so we use parentheses to really help us find that main connective. And I wanted to show you some examples to really highlight that. Okay, so in this example, we have 3 connectives. The first connective is the negation, and that's combined with the Q. The second connective is within this innermost parenthesis, and it's combining not Q and R, and this is our disjunction. And so it's within just that first parenthesis that's inside the full big parenthesis. So then what is that full big parenthesis combining? Well, that's actually combining the P with that full sentence that we just have parentheses around it, right? And so if you didn't quite get it, let me show you with using colors. So pretty much the red is, that red parenthesis is covering pretty much the what is it called? The disjunction. And then the conjunction, that's our main operator because that has the final parenthesis on the outside. And that's your main operator. So the the conjunction is our main operator. Okay, what about this example? What is the main operator here? So don't get confused, don't worry. The negation here, even if I have a double negation, it doesn't matter. This is still part of the identity for G. And also we designate this negation just for E, and then this disjunction is within these parentheses, so we don't worry about that either. And so the main operator that's combining all of this, the E and the F and the negation G, that's our conditional. So if you didn't see it, here it is in colors. So the red is just that first part of the sentence, and then the green, that arrow, the conditional, that's combining both the red and the G, the negation G, and to get us that is our final building block. That is the main operator. That's the thing that's combining both of these two molecules, you can say, right? Okay, so that's how you get the conditional as the answer. That is your main operator. Okay, what about this example? So you have, we've got a lot going on. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 connectives in here. But don't worry, this is why parentheses are there to help. So first of all, let's start off with the negation. This negation, again, is just part of the F, so don't worry about it. This conjunction over here is just combining the A and the not F, and that's why it's designated by themselves within these parentheses. And then this biconditional is only combining the D and the E. It's not involved in any other letter. It's just the D and the E. And then you put parentheses around it because you're designated that the location, how far out is extends that biconditional. But what about this negation over here? This negation is negating this entire sentence, the D and the E in the biconditional, right? It's saying whatever's inside there, it's just the opposite of it. It's the negation for it. And then you go outside of the negation and you get the conjunction. So this conjunction is actually combining this half of the sentence with this half. So the A and the not F, that parenthesis with the D and the biconditional E, that half. Not only the D and the E, but also the negation of it. So the negation of that. That's what this conjunction is doing. But wait, you're not done. That's not the main operator. The main operator is the final operator used when you're building the final, when you're building all your building blocks. And so it's actually the negation because it's that final thing. It's negating the entire sentence. So everything is involved with that negation. So if you didn't quite see it, here it is in color. So again, the red is just A and the not F, and that's combining our conjunction. And then the red also is combining the biconditional over here. And then this connective, the negation in yellow, that's just part of the D and the E with the biconditional. And then the blue is combining both the red and the yellow, right? The yellow is negating that full red. So then, but we're not done because there's a negation on the outside that's combining everything together, and it's just saying not all of this, right? So be careful. We know it's the negation, but you will lose points if you just say negation. And so why is that the case? Well, oops, let's go back. The case is because you have to specify which negation there is. There's 3 negations, so you have to say the first occurrence of the negation, and then you should be fine. Okay, so let's take a look at the next thing. So scope, it's similar to every other idea we've been going over. It's just how far does that connective extend out to. So this is just how many building blocks are involved within the range of that connectives. How many building blocks is that connective combining, pretty much. And remember that the main connective has the widest scope. It's that main connective that fills in the entire sentence, and it's like, yes, this whole thing is involved. This whole sentence is involved. So let's take a look at an example. Okay, so P, right? So we have, this is a previous example you guys already have seen. And so then what is the scope of the negation? So remember, we see the negation and it's only tied to the Q. And so then when you answer the question, you put not Q. Don't just put Q, put not Q. The connective is actually part of your answer when you're answering the scope of the negation. So what's the scope of negation? There better be a negation in there with the answer. What is the scope of the disjunction? So again, there better be a disjunction in there. So first of all, which one is the disjunction? This is the disjunction, and it's closed off with these parentheses, and so we put that full not Q disjunction R. That's our answer. So then what is the scope of the conjunction? Finally, this is our conjunction, and it's combining both the not Q and R with the P, and it's closed off by that by those parentheses, and that's why it means when we say it's the main connective has the widest scope, we just mean that it like takes that entire sentence, as we can see over here. So that's the scope of the conjunction. Okay, so let's take a look at another part of your guys' homework as well. Is this a valid argument? So if we say, if it's raining outside, I will bring an umbrella. If it's not raining outside, I will not bring a jacket. Therefore, if I will not bring an umbrella, I will not bring a jacket. So this one's a little tricky. I definitely struggled on that one, so don't worry. But this is very similar to the homework question, but just not the same like actual sentence itself in English, but it's got the same structure in logic. So keep an open eye out for that. So we start off with a conditional. If it's raining outside, then I'll bring an umbrella, right? You see it raining, you're like, okay, I'm gonna go grab my umbrella. But if it's not, another premise, if it's not raining outside, then I'm not gonna bring my jacket. Okay, that's fine. So then you conclude, if I will not bring an umbrella, I will not bring a jacket. We're like, wait a minute. This seems kind of iffy. It's kind of weird, but don't panic. Just think about it. Okay. If I will not bring an umbrella, what would be the case that I will not bring an umbrella? What will not permit me to not bring an umbrella? Remember, we said in the first premise that if it's raining outside, then you'll bring an umbrella. But when it's not raining outside, what are you going to do? You're not going to bring that umbrella, right? Why would you carry an umbrella around if it's not raining? So think of it that way, right? At least in our example. But also, you know that if it's not raining, that you will not bring a jacket. And so that's what it's implied. So if you will not bring an umbrella, what it's implying is that it's not raining. And if it's not raining, we know from the second premise, what will happen? You will not bring a jacket. And so therefore, if I will not bring an umbrella, I will not bring a jacket, that is a valid conclusion, right? So this whole argument is valid because the conclusion follows from the premises. If you don't quite get this, that's totally fine. Definitely email me or let me know, ask your TAs, they're more than happy to help you. Okay, so let's translate that sentence from English to logic. So we have our three premises. If it's raining outside, I'll bring an umbrella, da 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 da. So let's start off with the first one. If it's raining outside, I'll bring an umbrella. So easy, right? You see that if, you put that conditional in there with parentheses around it. So we're gonna assume A is raining outside and then umbrella, or I'll bring an umbrella, that's B. And so if it's not raining outside, I will not bring a jacket. So again, the not is negation. So no, negation is gonna be involved. And then not raining outside, so that's going to be not A, right? Not raining outside. And then you see that if, so you're going to connect it with a conditional, and you will not bring a jacket, so not. And then you haven't seen jacket before, so you can put a new letter in there, so not C. So not A, conditional, not C. Pretty straightforward. Then therefore, if I will not bring an umbrella, I will not bring a jacket. If you won't bring an umbrella, which is the umbrella, which is actually B, so not B, conditional, you will not bring a jacket, and then jacket is not C. So not B, conditional, not C. Okay, if it's raining outside, another example. If it's raining outside, I'll either bring a red umbrella or a green umbrella. I will not bring a red umbrella, therefore it's not raining outside. So this example is pretty straightforward. I think this one's definitely easier than the first one, but same idea. So if it's raining outside, you're going to have two options. You either bring a red umbrella or a green umbrella. You decide not to bring the red umbrella. Does that mean that it's not raining outside? Is that necessarily the case? It could be the case, but it doesn't necessarily mean that is the case. You could have just brought your green umbrella, you know? So therefore, this argument is invalid because the conclusion does not necessarily follow from the premise. The premises are true, and the conclusion can be false, and therefore makes it an invalid argument, because you can have a different option in there. You can have a green umbrella instead, and that's what makes it invalid. That would be your reason for why it's invalid. Okay, so if we were to translate this example, I'm sorry, you guys can't see that. Let me just move myself. So translate from English to logic. I'll just keep myself down here. Okay, now I have to use this. There we go. So again, so let's start off with the first one. If it's raining outside, I'll either bring red or green. So you see either or, you see if. So let's designate A to if it's raining outside. Sorry, it's raining outside. So A, then you put a conditional right next to it because it's the if, and then you have two options. You either do this or that. What is that? That is the disjunction. So pretty straightforward, right? You put parentheses around that because the A is the conditional and it will lead you to these two options, right? If A, then either this or that. I hope that was better to really visualize that. I think that was really helpful for me when I look at it using these letters in English. That's why we use logic to really help us out to figure out the validity of these agreements. So then you say, okay, not B, so not the red umbrella, right? We designated that, the B to be the red, and then the C to be the green umbrella. And A, it's raining outside. So therefore, it's not raining outside. So therefore, not A, right? Is that valid? We said no, it's not valid because you could just say, you know, C instead. You could just say, well, I bring my green umbrella instead. Okay, so now let's take a look, and I'm gonna actually take this off so we can work on it together. Okay, so you have this sentence. This is the complex sentence you guys have seen before, and we're gonna try to translate it from logic to English. So let's start off with the red parentheses. So whatever's inside the red parentheses. So we have A, we have our symbolization key. And so A is I will bring an umbrella. So I see an A, I'm just gonna start with the red. So I will bring an umbrella. Okay, and then we see a what? That's a conjunction, right? So I will bring an umbrella, and then we see a negation, not F, so not I will bring a jacket. So in order to make this flow a little bit better, you say, instead of the and not, you just say, but I will not bring a jacket. Look good? Okay, so that's this is just the A conjunction, not F. Nothing else. So now I'm gonna do the other red parenthesis, and that's gonna be the D biconditional E. So we're gonna say, so what's D? So I will wear a necklace, and then biconditional is if and only if. And then what's E? I will wear earrings. So I will wear a necklace if and only if I wear earrings. Sounds pretty straightforward. And then we have a negation in front of that whole sentence. So the way to do it is just say, it is not the case that I will wear a necklace if and only if I wear earrings. Right, and I'm missing an R over here. Perfect. So then these two sentences in red and with the negation in yellow is being combined with this conjunction in blue. So what I'm going to end up doing is pretty much just combining them, right? And just putting an and in between. I'll put a semicolon here. I don't know if my grammar is right, but that doesn't matter. And it's not the case that, so I'll bring an umbrella, but I will not bring a jacket. And it's not the case that I'll wear a necklace if and only if I wear earrings. This doesn't actually have to flow in English, but this is just really communicating like how we get from logic to English. Okay, but we're not done yet. So we've got just whatever's within the parentheses that are in blue. We don't have that negation on the outside of everything. So that's pretty easy. Just put, it is not the case that, semicolon, whatever, that whole thing. Okay, so I hope that was really helpful for you guys for the homework today. Don't forget, it's due at 6 p.m. If you guys have any other questions, don't forget to email me, or don't hesitate to email me. Details do matter in this class, so make sure you're getting them, and good luck on your homework. All right, I'll see you guys later.